How embarrassing it would be to get run over by a granny on a bike. I own the building. I'm the owner, yeah. 100%. I just need to make sure I pay my bills, yeah. Yeah. This used to be fish and chips at the front here. It's a 198, 192, 188, 186. We manage number 77 over there. We manage 162. I put an offer in on 164. I own 152 down here as well. I'm going to admit, it's my ego road. We manage like over 800 limited companies and about 500 individual clients. I've only just like on surface level Claude where I'm a proper investor now. I bought myself a Mac Mini to run the whole thing, and I'm just starting a bit of like an automation project. I've just got a call, one sec. Hello mate.
Johnny.
Any close to that final build price for us? Or I've put an offer in for next door. Do you think I should stay clear? It'll be alright?
Yeah, just make sure you get a decent builder in to do it, Shawnee boy.
Well, I know one. That was Greg, one of our contractors. He's in charge of ripping out one of our fish and chips to, I call it fish and chip, it's literally a chippy with a flat on top of it. I was actually quite lucky at that because I was only looking for sold comparables for flats, and that so happened to be listed as a flat, like a one bed flat. If it was commercial, it would be listed on the Rightmove commercial, but it was just listed as a flat for 145 grand. Already had planning before for a 6-bed HMO with like a dormer conversion and extension, and I just thought, you know what, if I can get this for cheap for 140 grand, which is what I got it for, just convert the downstairs into like a 1-bed or a 2-bed flat, and then the upstairs is already a 1-bed flat, so just convert that into a 1-bed flat as well. Put the planning in end of December, got the planning through start of February, was ready to complete, and then the vendors just said, oh yeah, my son's getting married, this is going on, that's going on, yeah, don't have time to complete. So I was just sort of like scratching my head. I was like, oh, he could pull out any minute now, and I got him planning for literally a conversion of 2 flats. And obviously I've already put money into the architect fees and planning fees, which is probably like 3-4 grand. So that's our amount of risk money. So that's the takeaways on about. So we converted that for my in-laws. So it used to be like a Chinese takeaway. I don't know if you can kind of tell with the big window, but that's now a 4-bed HMO. Stephen was asking me like, oh, what was like my first project? That was technically my first commercial resi project, where arguably you can say like I didn't know what I was doing, but I found a builder, and I was like, shit, my head's on the line, because like if I fuck this up for my in-laws, we're not getting married, because at the time we weren't even married actually. so yeah, that was a make or break situation. That's a chip shop. Kind of like going full circle, like buying stuff in the same vicinity. So we'll go back to that in a bit. This other site is it was an 8-bed shared bathroom HMO, so they had like 4 bathrooms to share with 8 people. I had planning on this in 2021 for a 10-bed HMO where we put 8 studios and 2 en-suites in there. We rented it off like a landlord for good 5 years. And we just rented them out as like an 8-bed with 4 shared bathrooms. We did quite well at one point where we managed to find like a service accommodation provider who was looking for units to just rent out to contractors. So they just took all the units off, gave us a guaranteed rent, and then that was pretty much rented out for a good year and a half. Fast forward 4 or 5 years down the line, said to the vendor who we were renting off, we'll want to buy it off you. Luckily he wanted to kind of exit his properties, he wanted to move on, and we bought 2 actually at the same time. So one we made some decent money on. We bought it for 320 and it was valued at 400, whereas this one we've bought for 400. It was valued a little bit less, 395, but once we've done all the works it should be worth just close to £1 million commercially, which is the difference.
How many of the properties that you buy do you keep, and how many do you sell, would you say? What sort of percentage?
99%. I've only sold 3 properties in the last 7-8 years. 2 of which were just small 3-bed HMOs, which are the first houses I bought. I just got off like a course. I was itching to buy something. I wanted cash flow. Yeah, we ended up selling it during the COVID height, where everyone was just buying properties for literally whatever price you put it for. But the key thing was I got my capital back out, like 50-40k stuck in there. I moved on to like the bigger projects that we were doing during that time. We did a few like 12-bed and 14-bed HMOs. So we're now at what was once an 8-bed, now it's going to be a 10-bed. But it's a big house. It's a semi-detached, and they're just doing a rip out right now. So it's that house over there on the left. I almost had a chance to buy these two next door where they came up for sale last year, and I had my offer accepted, and he gazumped me with someone else. But my plan would have been for this one was to title split it, because you can kind of get a valuation per flat, and that would have added up more to what I would have paid him in general. How embarrassing it would be to get run over by a granny on a bike. Hey up. I own the building. I'm the owner. Yeah. Am I alright coming in? Yeah.
1 minute, mate.
No, you guys carry on. Don't worry. I'm just having a look around. Yeah. So this is literally one of the bedrooms. So it used to be a lounge, and then what we're going to do is get it all back to brick. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys are the most important people on the job, mate, honestly. Yeah. 100%. I just need to make sure I pay my bills, yeah? Yeah, literally, we'll get it all gutted out, ripped out. What we've got planned in here is it's going to be a kitchenette, I believe, where the window is, and then the bed will be behind me. But if you imagine, the doorway will stay where it is. You kind of open up and then you just come into your space. It was always kind of fit for purpose. There's a lot of these older terraces or like Victorian buildings, they tend to be big spaces to just, even if you had this like an ensuite room, and we did quite well renting these out, even as a shared bathroom, because they're just big high ceiling rooms. So we're just kind of maximising it by putting the right facilities in for the market that people want right now. So there's one room here. There's a room in here which, following the same footprint, we could only get this into as an ensuite. So you'll have like your bathroom, if I remember right, it'd be back to back with that room there. So for your plumbing, it'd just be kind of get all your plumbing into one pipe. But keep that big window here, walk in, you've got your bed, bathroom, wardrobe space, desk space. This room's about 12 square meters roughly. But again, the high ceilings, which will end up overboarding, which saves on the rip out because it's just one less thing to rip out, and less skip space. So go through here. That's a slightly smaller room than that one, but that's got its own kitchenette in there. On the plans, you'll see this as like a massive kitchen. This used to be one of the bathrooms that they were sharing between 2-3 rooms. But yeah, we'll keep this as a big communal kitchen. With Derby being Article 4 area, they want like bigger spaces, especially even if you've got your own kitchen space, people still want to kind of chill out in their own like zone, and if they're working from home, they've got like a breakfast bar, something to work on. Probably in this weather you'd be in a coffee shop with the aircon. But down there it drops down, so it'll be technically a 1.5 story extension where it'll step down into a room, and then you'll get like a kitchen downstairs or a bedroom downstairs, and then like another floor on top of it. So it keeps in good keeping with the neighbours. Big garden. I mean, you can see as it is, it's just a massive forest. So once we're done with it, we'll treat everything, get it all membrane, block paved as well as what we planned for. So I pay a little bit more front end, but it will just be less maintenance. And I know people say like, keep some grass, obviously makes it a little bit more green, but then it's just so hard to maintain, and at scale as well. Trying to find a garden at this time of the year, you can pre-plan people in, but they just let you down all the time. I feel like I need to get my own landscaping business. We got upstairs. You see it. As you came through here, this used to be 2 shower rooms and a sink. So it wasn't the most pleasant, but what we've done here is ripped out the old toilet. That was the old bedroom. This will just be all flushed and just be one big studio. So with this house being so big, the studio size is like your 18 to 20 square meters. So from a licensing point of view, that's a double occupancy, so you can get couples in here. We like to get young couples, obviously, that just want to save on rent. They probably typically pay between 800 to 850 a month, so between it was like 425, 475 per person, and for that price you basically get your own flat, to be honest. Yeah, you can kind of say, oh, it's still the HMO, but if we soundproof it properly, if you choose the right studio set back, you've got your own space. And it's kind of designed for short-term living, so you don't expect them to stay here for like years and years, but 6 months they might be waiting for like a new build house they're going to buy. So it kind of fits that kind of, especially with the new rules now, you only have to have a tenancy for 2 months. Like if someone's waiting to move into a new build house, that could be a perfect range for them, put everything in storage and move into like a HMO for a few months. So just be careful, mate. Yeah, on this floor it's pretty much the same replicas downstairs. We got 1, 2, 3. There's a bit of like a wasted landing space here, so we kind of redesigned it a bit where we can engross some of the storage space for like our communal stuff as well as the tenants as well. And that used to be just a small little toilet that was used. And then on the top floor, this will be 2 big rooms. So it was always 2 big rooms. Well, it was always a shared bathroom here between 2 rooms, and then what we did was to make it work over the last 4 or 5 years was we turned that into its own studio, kitchen, lounge with a dining space, and this was their bedroom, and they had their own bathroom. So this whole floor used to be just technically a 1-bed flat, and they were rented for like £900 a month. Again, that was all bills inclusive as well. You go out and rent like a 1-bed flat out there, you probably pay that plus bills on top. This will just be its own studio, and that will be its own studio as well. Just because we've managed to utilise all the space to have 2 separate bathrooms, 2 separate kitchenettes, rather than just the 1 kitchen. So the plumbing's on that side. So what we'll do is we'll probably go under the ceilings and get the pipework in. But the bathrooms, remember, right, it's back to back against the wall. So it'll be like a kind of a rectangle shape where you get your square shower tray, sink and a toilet, and just kind of mirror it back side to side. Right, that's the 8-bed to 10-bed. And I think we scared everyone off. Yeah. You filmed it? So we went to one main contractor for this whole job. So they just give us a fixed price quote and then just crack on with the job really. So they manage it from start to finish. I don't really need to get too involved other than making sure the plans are correct to what I actually want it to be. So sometimes there's variations of the plans, like if the architect has drawn something, it might actually be physically possible or also practically possible. There's some things where you can cost save, where if an ensuite's on one side of the room and they put it on the other side of the room, why not put them back to back, and does that change the flow of the drawings and stuff? So whilst it's getting ripped out, we've got time to review those plans, get it updated, send it back to the contractor, and just basically get it all organised, because the worst thing, as I learned throughout every job, is just changing things on the way, because it just disrupts the whole order of things, the programme. Electricians are working on one set of drawings and you've got a revised set of drawings they didn't have, and then you end up with this like massive farce of like, oh, who has to pay for what because you changed your mind. So cool. I think so far, yeah, we're good. Yeah, this property on the corner was bought around the same time as the previous owner, so this property. So it was a typical COVID hype. Everyone's just buying ready-made HMOs because they just thought it was like an income cash king. But then interest rates went up, utility bills went up after COVID, so it doesn't make it as profitable. And those are like the older style HMOs, what this one used to be, where you've got like your 6 bedrooms, I think probably like 3 bathrooms or something like that. The estate agent didn't even turn up to the viewing, and the vendor was kind of like, for God's sake, I'm paying these guys a fee, and they're not even coming up to open the door for you to like view the property. So that was my chance really, is like I built that rapport with the vendor, and then said, oh yeah, told them what I'm doing. I said, oh, I own like the one literally up the road here, and one down the road at the time. and we agreed to buy literally 2 houses right next to each other, which it used to be ran as like a 4-bed shared bathroom HMO, and he had it up for sale for 200 grand at the time. So it's a lot, oh great, I'll pay you 200 grand per house. We managed to get planning for 7 studios on either side. Well, actually, it was 6 studios and 1 ensuite. We turned what used to be a 4-bedroom unit into 7 each side. Those got revalued at 620,000 and 630,000, top of my head. A new joint venture partnership was formed at the time as well. So I got into business with one guy, which we've ended up buying 6 houses together over the last 2.5, 3 years. And he's an even more experienced developer than me, based in Nottingham. So I had a lot to learn from him. He had his own build team. I was like, great, I found a property. You've got money, you've got a build team, I've got a little bit of money. Let's put our funds together and build these houses. Yeah, this is Old Road, where if you see our white and yellow signs, those are our to let boards. So there is meant to be one here, but we've got a big signage here. So 198, 192, 188, 186. We manage number 77 over there. We manage 162. I put an offer in on 164. I own 152 down here as well. This is like the ego road, I'll put it down there. I'm going to admit it's my ego road. So it takes a lot of like money management to get it to that stage. It's not like, oh, you just buy it and then just rent it out. There's a lot of money employed in our staff to manage those houses as well. So I don't take all the credit. Obviously I orchestrated it, but there's still management after that, making sure that they're maintained and kept well. Otherwise you end up like the houses that we end up buying, which are the ones that aren't as maintained, and then we end up buying them and kitting them out again. Another thing is, this used to be a 6-bedroom HMO on the plan, so the fact that we put it in as a 2-bed flat, I think the council are delighted, because they always see parking as an issue, and I do get it. I think that's another reason why we got the plans through so quickly, because it was just a better planning option than what was presented before. Right, let's have a whiz around, and I think we're wrapping up. That's our full skip. Yeah, it's pretty cool how we started this one and the other one at pretty much the same time. He's drilling away the plaster, but this used to be fish and chips at the front here, and then that door and the brickwork, the white brickwork, is also part of the same building. So it's a funny, odd corner plot, but I don't know, like now I'm kind of like engineer. It's like, right, I've got a door here which goes into the 1-bed flat downstairs, which we're actually going to make it into a 2-bed flat. And we've got a door here which will go straight up the stairs, and the stairs are perfectly aligned to go into the 1-bed flat at the top. Yeah, the footprint was there, we just had to make it work. Let's have a look inside. I'm just gonna let them know up here.
Yeah, at least another 2 skips.
Another 2 skips. If that's the case,
I'll let you know on the feed.
I'll book it in for Friday then.
You've got a feed coming in there from underground, you've got a feed coming in through there from underground, you've got 2 feeds coming in there from underground, but no stop tower.
Well, we can put one on. So that room's all obliterated, but the skip's full, so. This was all a 1-bed flat existing. The bathroom was in that corner there with a kitchen next to it. And then you just had 2 big, 1 reception room, 1 bedroom, I'm guessing. So for our plans, all we've done is just take out the 2 chimney breasts to open up the space a bit, squares it all off a bit. And then we'll keep the kitchen in that side, bathroom there because the plumbing's already there, and then I believe we're going to turn this into the bedroom, where you'll have the bed bang in here in the middle with 2 bedside tables, some feature wall lights on the side. You've got enough room in the corner for like either a wardrobe here or a wardrobe there, and in that far corner there it would just be desk space, even like a small chest of drawers with a TV on top or something like that. Bathroom over that corner. Yeah, we had a bit of like an awkward chimney breast here, so we've taken that out. Now it's all kind of squared this all off, so we'll get a good L-shaped unit as you walk in. Tall fridge freezer here, through here. The plan was to put like an L-shaped sofa in here, or a sofa. TV would go on this wall here. And then the dining table could sit in that corner, because it's an odd shape. You can't really get like your perfect L shape, you'll end up with dead space. So we thought, get like an oval or round table, get a few chairs around it, got plenty of room for sitting, social space. And then that'll just be like a cupboard. I mean, you could have got another run of stairs through, but it's just, do you want to go for the costs of an extra loft room? I just thought, you know what, if it works as it is, there's no need to kind of over-engineer. Just use it as access. I mean, this was all the existing insulation, so we've actually kept all of it. I'm just going to reuse it to get our EPC levels to the C's and above is what we're aiming for. Guys downstairs are just ripping out the old extension where it used to be the kitchen for the fish and chip shop. That had a lot of leaks through the roof, so just getting rid of it, make it good, get it new, and then we're not going to have any problems further down the line. That's it.